No
right now.
worries.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is Max 101. One more time, and today, I'm thrilled. I'm so happy, and thank you for the opportunity, Colton Seaver. How are you, brother?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good, good,
Doing
good. And
good?
I'm so excited,
Me
because
too.
I love glam. Glam music. I grew up with that, and I saw that you guys just came out with one song in the Hairspray Volume 8.
Yes, sir.
And I say, we are friends on Facebook. I say, we have to have an interview. We have to talk about Mercy, and of course
Sweet.
other music, music in general. But Mercy, is what I'm very interested right now to know more about how's the project. Tell me a little bit about it, and then I'm gonna ask you more questions.
Mercy was started at the end of 2015, early 2016, here in Sacramento, California, which is way north of LA. But people often think we're from LA, like we talked about. But no, in Sacramento, California, for me and my buddy, the guy on the left there, Dizzy.
Dizzy.
Yep, and he's a guitar player and he sings. I'm a guitar player, I sing. And so back then, I was in between bands. I had actually just got done playing with Pretty Boy Floyd for the first time. And so I was kind of looking to see, what I could do next. And my friend and manager, this guy named Tom Alexander, we were working together trying to think what to do. Dizzy came into where I worked at the time, and I had actually known him previously as a tattoo artist in my hometown, lost contact with him for a few years, and we kind of rekindled and became friends. We started hanging out, jamming together. He heard some of the songs I recorded, and he really liked them, which were the songs from the EP that we have now. And
sorry, what's the name of the EP?
It's called the Jet Black Romance EP.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
which is it's out there, out and about. I've got CDs. Actually, right now, I'll get to that. I actually programmed the drums on the EP.
Very nice.
But I played the bass, played guitar, sang, and then we put Dizzy's guitar on. He's a rhythm guitar on that one. And so it kind of was just done. We didn't have a band at the time when we put it out, but we had a logo, we had a name. We were like, this is cool.
Yeah,
Let's
the
put
logo
it
is
out.
very cool, man.
Thank you. And so that's kind of where it all started. And that was, like I said, 2016. 2016, we played a bunch of shows around Northern California with actually Bad Boy Eddie. They're on that Hollywood Hairspray. They're from the Bay Area. I think they're from Hayward. I don't want to say I don't want to get it wrong, but we've been friends for a long time with Dave and the guys in the band, and we played with them. Bunch of bands from up here. Kind of just did opening shows, working with promoters. Up here in Northern California, there's not a huge. There's like, 3 or 4 bands like us up here. One of them was Mercy. The other one at the time was a band called Faith and Bullets, which we were also a part of, and that's how everything kind of molded together. But the scene for hard rock, glam, sleaze was, we're the market right here, like few people. But we had a lot of friends that would come to the shows, and we knew a lot of people just from being in, like I said, Kiss tribute band, played with my friends who were an all-girl Motley Crue tribute band. So everyone knows each other. Everyone plays together. So we would be in that realm. And lots of fun, but there's no scene for original music, so it doesn't really go anywhere. And it's one thing online. It's one thing if you put your YouTube or your song on YouTube and you get 10,000 hits in a week. That's great. But when there's no one where you are, then you're just getting up, going to work like everyone else, which is fine. That's what I do all the time. I like that life. And so it wasn't really going anywhere. And that builds, some frustrations with people. You're not getting what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at a place like LA or, New York or Sweden where, all of my new favorite bands are, and you're like, man, I want to do that. Why can't I do that? Sleaze metal, whatever, glam type stuff. As far as making your way around, so you have to, go out. And that particular band, the four of us, it just wasn't jiving. And I think it was it 2006? Let's see, we're almost 2020 now, so a year ago. So yeah, it was May. It was May of 2018. So we did the same band for a while, and in between that 2016 to May of 2018 period, we ended up with the guy who was managing us. Their band, Faith and Bullets, another band that he was managing, they were kind of ending as well. And we were all friends. We all known each other. Like I said, very small scene up here. So we decided after, I think it took about 6 months before we actually got something going. But we did try to hybrid the two bands. And we recorded a song called Letting Go under the name Faith and Bullets. And it was the same, it just didn't work. It wasn't the right people. Even though we thought we had something good going, everyone was on the same page. So we killed that project, and then we started what became the band Jet Black Romance. Which is confusing because Mercy's EP was called Jet Black Romance, and I sing and play guitar, or I sing and play guitar for Mercy, and then Jet Black Romance, I sing and play guitar. We don't play that song though, so but we started
But that song is in the Heir Spray Volume 8,
the Heir
right?
Spray. Yeah, so
but that's out of loop now, right? It's out of scope from the band. You're not using that song anymore.
So the band Mercy is totally different than the band Jet Black Romance, but the song Jet Black Romance is by Mercy.
Okay, there you go.
But I knew it was going to be confusing from day one, but everyone liked the name.
Yeah, the name is amazing, man. It's so rock and roll, man.
Yeah, and so we started the band, actually, where are we? We're at 2019, so it was about like a year, 2 months ago. We, myself and this guy named Ricky Bullets, from the band Faith and Bullets. He played lead guitar in Faith and Bullets. Him and I are friends, and we're both songwriters. And so he sent me a bunch of music one time, just because. Say, hey, check this out. And I listened to it, and I'm like, man, this is really cool. I should write lyrics to it, because I write music and lyrics, but my forte, I love writing lyrics. Cool. So, and I love writing music as well, but if the music's already written, all I got to do is write lyrics. So it was easy. So he sent me songs. I'd write lyrics, on my break at work or, late at night. I'd be like, oh, that's a cool idea. And then I'd send them back to him. We'd demo them out, and we were just popping out songs left and right. I think it took probably like a month to get the 5 songs that we ended up putting on an EP. And so it was kind of happening naturally. And on top of that, Ricky is a really talented producer. So what he spends a lot of his time doing is investing in music gear. He loves recording gear. He's that guy, where as I'm more along the lines of plug in, turn up, and go, right? And so it's good to have someone who's like, oh wow, you made my vocals sound super big, and not that there's any
Very cool.
doctoring on him, but as far as like the production goes, he was killing it.
Yeah.
And so we went in and started demoing out the songs, and we also were looking at making it into a real band, and we found this guy Logan Bolin, who's our drummer for Jet Black Romance,
Okay.
and he also played in Faith and Bullets, and we adopted him into the project, and he's a great drummer, great guy, and it worked out. And so we initially started out as a trio. I was then just going to play bass because I also play bass.
Wow.
And so we started like that, but because of the way that the recordings were coming out, we had like, harmony guitars. Everything sounds better with the dual guitar, Tesla,
Yep.
perfect example.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know what, let's try to either find another guitar player or a bass player. And we found a guy, Ruby Bass, who is our current bass player, or the bass player rather. He initially came in wanting to try out for guitar, and I was going to stick to bass, easier to sing and play bass. And so we tried that out, and then it was good, but I think what happened is he wanted to play bass, and I was more, because I am primarily a guitar player, I was like, I'd rather play guitar, so it kind of worked out. So that's how Jet Black Romance got started earlier on in the year. We put out an EP, I think it was January 1st, and it was just called, what did we call it? Yeah, it's just Jet Black Romance EP. Okay. We were going to call it Piece of Me, because that's, I think, the best song on the EP, but we just decided to go self-titled, because it was our first, hurrah. And we've been playing through the year. We did a couple shows up here in NorCal. Cat's going crazy over here. And, oh no, stop it. So he's throwing me off. But we've been doing shows, and like I said, Mercy was on a hiatus. And that's pretty much it. We did the Whiskey, played like Faster Pussycat, Bang Tank.
Cool.
That was a cool show. That
Very
got the
cool,
juices flowing. And then we did, we had like a 3-month break. I was out with Pretty Boy Floyd, and so we didn't have a lot of time in between doing that. And then we actually just played with Pretty Boy Floyd up here in Sacramento. And we're doing another show in 2 weeks with LA Guns at the same spot.
Cool.
So, and that's pretty much it for that band right now.
Nice.
But Mercy, what happened? Yeah, go ahead.
No. How would you define the music, the type of music? Is that glam?
Jet Black Romance?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, anything that I think I write, or anything we do with all my musician friends, or just musicians that I work with, it all ends up coming back to or going back to Motley Crue or Rat, stuff like that. So it's got to me, when I listen to our EP, I hear a lot of Rat influence. Our lead guitar player, because I play rhythm and sing in this band, he's more of a Warren DeMartini kind of style. Like when I hear him play, it reminds me of Warren DeMartini. So he's got that style of guitar playing. But yeah, to me, it's more hard rock. It's glammy, but it's not like Poison glam. It's not like, Whitesnake or anything like that. It's got kind of like the darker, like street edge to it, like Motley Crue, Rat, or, early Dokken, stuff like that. There's a lot of the harmony stuff like that. But it all, like, there's a song on our Mercy EP called Set to Kill.
Okay.
And that song actually was the first song I wrote for my band Set to Kill back in 2012. So it all, like I said, it all ties in together. But yeah. And then the newest song, Midnight Sin,
is
actually that's the newest song we recorded, but it's an older song. I wrote that.
Because it was recorded in October, right? Like it's some like no like probably last month, or
Yeah,
it
yeah. I
came
just
out
put it
like
out.
a month ago or something like that.
Yeah, I put it out online a month ago. I think I recorded it earlier on in the year.
Get out of my way, better step aside. You gotta play the game if you want inside. Anything goes behind closed doors. What's yours is mine and mine is yours. One way ticket, you're all alone. Straight to bed is your new home. Lost it all, there's no way out. Inside your head, you scream and shout. So flash is a heart attack that look in her eyes.
Because I moved and I had the music already like laid down, the solo and all that stuff, so it was all there, all basic tracks recorded, and then I just went in at home, because actually where you see is where I record. So
Nice.
it's it, it's not like a fancy studio or anything. I've just got a couple of monitors, interface, MIDI keyboard. We're good to go.
Fair enough to record an album, man. Like
Exactly.
that's the today's technology, Like that's
Totally.
what happened.
You got to take advantage of it too, because it's
Yeah.
any moment you could spark an idea, you got to have it ready. This is like 2011. I went to a show with my buddy. I was like 17 or 18. And we went in there, it was a club, and we watched the show. It's still to this day one of the best shows I've ever been to. So much fun. We road tripped down there, of course, bought a bunch of merch, because we do. And after the show, Steve, Chris, who's the current bass player, Christy Majors, original guitar player, and at the time it was Ben Graves, the drummer. They had all, they were all out hanging out, talking to the people, the fans, and I, talked to all of them, but I kind of hit it off with Steve. Steve's really easy to get along with, super nice guy, and I talked. Christy's great guy too. Chris Six, bass player, he was awesome. Had me cracking up, some things that he said that I can't repeat. But they're all cool guys, and they're all super cool. Made you feel like you were important, like
Nice.
that's what rock stars are supposed to do, the good ones,
Yeah.
So later that night, I remember we went home, and that was it. It was like the best show, and I had kept in contact with Steve and Christy on Facebook, through the years. I'd buy merch or stuff like that. Christy had heard some of my songs over the years, and we would talk about him because he's also he's a producer. He actually recorded the latest Pretty Boy Floyd album, Public Enemies.
Nice.
So he's into all that. So we kind of hit it off as friends on that level, and we talked, like I said, through the years. And they did a show in 2015. Was it the Cat? It was the Cat House 30th anniversary in Irvine, where it was like a ton of bands played, like everyone. Tracy Guns.
Nice.
I think Sebastian Bach played with Ace Frehley. Tons of bands played, and so I was there, and walking around. It's like a giant festival. It was like M3, but in LA. I think it was probably a little smaller. But I walked up to the merch table and, hey, what's up, Steve? How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And at the time, they had just reunited. They had gone on like a 3-year hiatus. And I just kind of threw it out there. I was like, hey, if you guys ever need, bass player, whatever, just hit me up, right? And like a week later, my girlfriend at the time and I were literally in the middle of moving, like, literally moving boxes into like a moving truck. And Steve had called me and was like, hey, man, can you play a show? And I was like, hell yeah, when? He's like, day after tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, where? LA. And so I'm up in Sacramento. It's about 400 miles away. So I was like, yes, no problem. I can do that. And luckily, I pretty much knew all the songs. And this was on guitar. I was filling in for Christy while he was out. And ended up playing 7 shows with him with JK Famous on bass, Todd Burr from Shameless, Tough. He's been in like every band ever on drums. And
Shameless.
Yeah. Which
is that Queen for the Day? No.
Yes, yeah, Alex Michael.
Queen for the Day, something for a night, right?
Queen for a Day, Queen for a Night. Yeah, that's the album.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Todd played on that, but he played on a bunch of different albums, and he's also in Tough. But we went on the road. We went to the Midwest. We did some Vegas shows, LA. Went around, and it was a lot of fun. It was like my first experience getting out and kind of seeing things, and it was very like off the cuff, like when none of us had ever played together, and it was really fun. And we played Rock and Skull, which is another one that was the Illinois festival. Super fun, had a great time, everyone loved it. And then after that, Christy came back, and that was it. And so 2016, I was doing my thing, and then I got another call at the end of 2016, hey, JK can't make the show, or JK had actually called me because him and I remained friends through that time we played together, and he was unable to do 2 shows that were up in like the northwest here in the Seattle and Portland, Oregon. And so I ended up playing bass for those shows with Ben Graves on drums, Christy Majors on guitar, and then, of course, Steve on vocals. Mm-hmm. Again, a great time. Never played with the guys before. Went off well. And so that was that. Everyone, JK came back on bass, and that was it. And then, it was earlier this year. And I remained, friends, in contact with these guys, went to shows they played, stuff like that. So, we're still in contact. And then earlier on in the year, I got asked to play bass for the European tour we did. Okay. Back at the beginning of the year, we went to Wales. We went into Europe and played Hungary, which was like the coolest thing ever. We did a bunch of shows around the UK with Psycho Dolls, which is a band out there. Super cool guys.
Nice.
Had a lot of fun. And so ever since then, I've been in the band.
Nice.
And we had, on that tour, we had Ashes, Diego Ibarra, who is from, he actually is a Devil Driver. He played with Wayne Static from Static X. So he was playing guitar on the European run. And then Nick Lane, drummer, he was in Sweet FA. You remember Sweet FA? They were like an early 90s, late 80s.
It's possible.
So they're really good. Nick is insanely good drummer. And I got lucky enough to play with him on that European tour, or the UK tour, sorry, that we did. And then that was that. Came back, did some shows in LA with that same lineup. And that was it. And that was, like I said, March, April. And then some months went by. And then I got put back on guitar since June. Mm-hmm. And Vicky Fox, Enough's Enough, Vince Neil drummer, he's now on drums again.
Okay.
And then from there, we've just been doing this lineup with Chris Six on bass.
Okay.
Who was also in the band with Vic Fox back in 2009.
Okay.
but now that's the current band, and we're just, we played 6 or 7 shows with this
Nice.
lineup, and it's awesome.
Nice,
Everyone's
nice, nice.
super cool. We all get along, um, and it's great. We're sounding
Excellent.
really good. We did the Rainbow the anniversary show that they do
Oh,
every year.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember that?
There's some of those photos that I see they're rolling by here, and that
Yeah.
was a great time. Went to Colorado. That was the first show we played together. Then we did Las Vegas,
Nice.
which was an incredible time. And then the Whiskey, which is always like a homecoming. I play,
Classic. Classic,
yeah,
man.
and that's like the every time Pretty Boy Floyd plays the Whiskey, it's always a great time.
Nice.
And then we've played, yeah. Then we did after LA. What did we do? We've done a couple shows after that, but the
That's
most
okay.
recent shows we did were back in LA, Tarzana, and then now Sacramento, and then next month, Steve and I will be going out to Colorado.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's like
Acoustic show.
a
Yep.
charity.
Yep. Yeah, it's a toy drive,
Okay.
Denver, and it's for a great cause. It's going to
Very
be
cool.
awesome. I don't think there's ever been an acoustic Pretty Boy Floyd show, so it'll be a first.
Nice. Nice,
But
nice, nice.
busting out a bunch of songs. Steve and I have been talking about doing some pretty cool covers, and doing some maybe some obscure Pretty Boy Floyd songs that the diehard fans will know.
Cool.
So I
Excellent.
already
And
know.
that's gonna happen December 14th, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, December 14th in Denver, Colorado at the venue.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, if yeah, just go to Facebook, to Colton's page, and you can see. I think there's a flyer there on your page, or
Yep.
also, yeah, you can find this easily on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Cool, man. Like, I'm very
Yeah.
happy to hear all the stories, all your stories.
Yeah.
I wish I could be a rock star like you.
Hey,
Like,
it's,
seriously, I
I,
wish I could play in a band and and play with all these bands, Faster Pussycat. I
yeah.
mean, all the bands that you named, those are
Oh,
awesome. And that's very amazing. What a great ride. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I'm super fortunate to be able to do it, especially with the Pretty Boy Floyd thing. It's like getting to play in one of your favorite bands is
Yeah.
not a lot of people get to do it.
No, no, man. That's one.
So
Like, yeah, it's magic.
I'll oh
I
yeah, I'll
bet.
do it. I'll do it as long as I'm able to, and
Yeah.
it's
And
fun. And Mercy. I gotta throw a shout out to Tom at Paris Records.
yes.
This on, super super cool guy. The EP is awesome. There's a lot of great bands on it,
Yeah.
but we're like Mercy is kind of we're reforming. I'm relocating to Las Vegas.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, at the end of the year, and so we'll see what happens. It's kind of like
Nice.
a new, everything's kind of a fresh start on all the music stuff. So
That's amazing.
fun.
And you are super young, so you can change as many times as you want, right?
Yeah,
So that's another good
gotta
thing,
keep going.
Like, start as many new projects as you want because you're a great musician. Awesome, man. And then
Yeah,
tell me a little bit about next year. What's gonna happen in 2020?
2020. So relocate. I mean, for relocation stuff with Jet Black Romance, those guys are staying. They're staying here.
Okay.
So we're gonna keep writing and recording, doing somewhat of like a like we're gonna put songs out, and if we're able to do shows, I'll fly out to wherever and we'll do that. So
Okay.
Jet Black Romance is gonna stay in on that regard. Mercy, I am hoping to find some guy like a drummer and a bass player down in Las Vegas, hopefully in the future. It's not my main priority. It's
Okay.
actually my third priority because like I told you earlier, in the end, Mercy is just like songs that I've written 110% myself that I record. And if I can find the right people to play them, then we can, maybe turn it into something cool. But I'll only do it if it's the right people because, like I said in the past, it's been with the wrong people. But myself and Dizzy were, we're the main guys doing it. So it'd be him
Nice.
and I, and then whoever else we can find if we can find anybody. But I've actually got another song that's lead vocals are done by him. I'm actually gonna finish like mixing it this probably in the next couple days because I'm off, and then I'll put it out. And it's got the same like recording production as Midnight Sin,
Nice.
but it's a little more uh, poppy. It's got more of a catchy feel to it rather than Midnight Sin's kind of straightforward hard
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah.
But I love the song that we're putting out, and it's gonna. I'll put that. I'll let you know when we put that out. And
There you go.
so that's for Mercy. Keep recording, putting stuff out. Got a ton of stuff just ready to pull out, and then with Pretty Boy Floyd, Leather Voice Electric Toys, which was the original album, put out in late '89, early 1990s when they did the tour back in the day.
Yeah.
So right now is the 30th anniversary. So we have some shows booked. We got obviously we have that Denver one, which is kind of it's just acoustic. But earlier on in February, March, we're going to be heading to some different areas of the U.S. Can't remember them off the top of my head. Kentucky's one of them because I've never been to Kentucky.
Nice.
Oh, we're going to Tarzana to play Petey's Place again, which we played last month. We're going to go back to London for actually, it was London, Sheffield. We're going to Sheffield to play. Is it Hard Rock Hell? We're going to we're playing a cool event
Nice.
in Sheffield, and super excited for that. So we're gonna book another little UK run next year in the summertime. We got another whiskey gig booked.
Nice.
And we're taking offers. So
that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I wish, guys, you can come to the East Coast. More specifically in the M3 festival, which is like 40 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if it were up to me, I'd be playing all of them. We'd be playing all of them. Pretty Boy Floyd specifically.
Yeah.
But we'd totally be down to play that. That's all. We're all open to it. I'd love to go on the Monsters of Rock cruise, which is kind of like I've been on them,
really?
but with Pretty Boy Floyd on them, it's like seems to me it's like of course but
Very cool.
Monsters of Rock, M3 Festival, stuff like that are totally gigs that we love to play.
Yeah, we need to start a campaign. So I'm gonna start a campaign.
Let's do it.
I want to see Pretty Boy Floyd on the M3
Awesome,
Fest,
man.
and say whatever you want to say to the fans out there. That they're watching. In all around the world. Latin America, Europe, Asia, of course, United States. But what's the message you want to tell them?
Thank you for watching this for one. If you anyone wants to get in contact with me, just hit me up on Facebook. I am one of those people who I don't have the messenger thing on, but if you hit me up, I'll respond. If you want to talk anything, I'm totally open, an open book.
You're a very nice guy, dude. Like a very nice guy.
Yeah, fun. Anything with, any gigs you want Pretty Boy Floyd to play, hit us up. I'll direct you, put you in the right direction.
What's the name of the company? Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, Artists Worldwide.
Yep, and hit up Artists Worldwide. Like I said, if you hit me up, I can direct you with a phone number, email.
Cool.
If you want us in your, city, state, country, that's the way to do it, and it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, you want some MP3s, I'll send over some. Mercy stuff, Jet Like Romance. We got all this stuff. We're not trying to make $1 million off it. All our stuff's on for Jet Like Romance. It's on all the streaming platforms. Mercy's a little different. It's a little more garage. So if you want to hear any Mercy stuff, the EP, hit me up on Facebook,
Nice.
Send me an email, and I'll send it to you because that's what we got. So. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Colton Seaver, everybody, thank you so much again. And dude, all the best for you for 2020.
Likewise.
And we keep
shit. Beat funks on the drum.